Hello everybody, Jayborino here playing some StarCraft 2. It's Wings of Liberty. It's our first mission choice.
What's our general status, Matt?
We've picked up a distress call from the planet Agria. There's a colony there under attack by the Zerg. Your convict buddy Tychus lined up a mission retrieving another artifact. It's on a Protoss shrine world called Monolith.
There's no canonical choice here, so I'm thinking we go to Agria just because it's on the left, and firebats are awesome.
Any ship receiving this transmission. The Zerg are invading Agria. The Dominion abandoned us here. We're just a small farming colony. We've got to evacuate before we're overrun. If you can hear this message, please help us.
Don't worry, Dr. Tassoni. I mean, Dr. Ariel Hansen will come and save you. There are awesome firebats. Let's go.
Incoming transmission.
Thank you so much for responding to our distress call, Commander. I'm Dr. Ariel Hansen, and I represent the people of the Agria colony.
Pleasure to meet you, Doc. You can call me Jim. What's the situation?
The Zerg have overwhelmed our planetary defenses. The colony is lost. For the past 12 hours, we've been evacuating people to the nearest starport, but the Zerg attacks have become so intense, we can't get any more through. If you can guard the highway, we can start sending the remaining groups every few minutes.
Don't worry, Doc. We'll get your folks through to that starport safe and sound.
I pray you're right, Commander. The Zerg are more terrible than I ever imagined.
But we got firebats. All right, 2 achievements. One of them is to not lose or salvage a structure again. And there are 2 bunkers out in the middle of nowhere, so that's kind of a pain in the butt. And then don't lose any colonist transports, which we definitely won't do. That's priority number 1. That's how you win the mission. There they are. There they are. All right, firebats, let's do it.
Let's do this.
I got us some firebats, cowboy. These suckers have got flamethrowers that'll roast the Zerg, but good.
Okay. You can lose medics here because the Zerglings target them, so just be a little careful. Just don't let them sit right in front of your firebats. And make sure you pick up the mineral and gas pallet that's at the beginning here. It helps you get started a lot easier. And you're able to move out pretty early because the first transport, there's barely any resistance to it except pre-placed units. And there's tons of mineral pallets that you can pick up.
Thank goodness you're here. I'll give you control of the main building so you can help us evacuate the colony.
Right. So we'll just queue up a couple extra Marines. You're not going to need too many.
Say the word.
And then let's move out and just start roasting some pre-placed Zerg. Because they're the only things that really... Some Zerg spawn at the very end, but we'll already be up there if we're collecting resources along the way.
Someone had the right idea of building bunkers to defend the roads. Why are they empty?
The Dominion military abandoned them when the Zerg attacked. They didn't give a damn about the colony.
Sorry to hear that, Doc. At least these bunkers are in a good spot. I'll see if we can't get them manned. We'll need to escort the convoys all the way to the main starport for them to have a chance of escaping this planet.
The first convoy from Lark's Crossing will be moving out soon.
Lark's Crossing, you'll be the first successful evacuation. Some more pre-placed Zerg here guarding some minerals. And it's good to just pick all these up early. Again, the more money you have to work with early, the better, obviously. Move up here towards the second bunker. And we can start queuing up more barracks. Pick this up. And then we'll move in here. There's more pre-placed Zerg. Again, this is just stuff that, if you don't know is here, if you accidentally wander into it later, can cause, the mildest of problems. So that's why we're moving in and killing it now. The only Zerg that spawn for the first group are over here, so we'll be ready for that. Let's move on over here. Just kill these Zerg, no problem. Pick up the minerals. Okay, and then just keep making SCVs and not getting supply blocked. And soon enough, we're going to want to man those bunkers, and we'll have some SCVs up there to repair them. Get a reactor on this one and just more Marines and medics. It's a little bit of an exaggeration to say that every single mission can be beaten with Marines and medics, but a lot of them certainly can, so we'll try to diversify a little bit. We'll just position our firebats up front right here, just like that.
Yes, sir.
We'll queue up a second firebat, and we've gotten a decent chunk of minerals already just from what we've found, which is pretty nice. And probably more gas than we're realistically going to need. So there are tons of pallets all over the place. We'll make sure to pick those up. Bonus points if we can save the escorting Marines as well. There's 2 here. Shouldn't have too much of a problem to do that. Okay, looks good. We can start moving back down in this direction and maybe grab the first bonus while we're at it. And why don't we actually leave 1 firebat up here in this bunker, and we're going to send some SCVs up there to repair it. And I'm going to make 1 turret here. Actually, I can't because I never made an engineering bay. It's okay, we'll do that. The whole idea is, though, we make a turret and it takes some surface area off the bunker, and then we can just sort of wall the Zerglings into one location, and the firebat can just roast them. So let's head down here. There's more minerals to get as well. And grab our second bonus, which are these chrysalises that we have to pick up. Don't let them kill the medics, please.
It's a long haul to the starport, partner. How can we be expected to guard the whole thing?
I reckon we can use a mobile force to keep it clear, or build more bunkers to block the approaches. Either way should work.
Ready to fry.
There are random burrowed banelings, so lead with the firebats.
The next convoy is almost ready to go, Commander. Please alert your men.
Okay, and we are supply blocked already. Sort of expected on this map. And then there's some extra pallets here that we can snag. And then we'll back up, defend the bunker. We got the firebat in this one. We're going to set up that turret like I had mentioned, which is going to force the Zerglings into this location. Very basic mechanic to utilize bunkers to maximum effectiveness, basically. We'll come down here, get the last bonus later, and more pallets. Just tons and tons of mineral pallets that we can get. And then meanwhile, just keep making Marines.
Get to the starport, move it!
And probably get another barracks as well, because we can afford it. Doesn't really hurt to have. But eventually we just need to split our forces a little bit, because it actually gets a little challenging to preempt where the Zerg are coming from, because they come from 2 locations at the same time, some drop pods, stuff like that. So it's really not... It's not crazy, but, you know, we just want to keep those escorting Marines alive. These 2 guys, they're going to make it. They're going to make it the whole way. They don't count as the colonists in the number up here, but they should. They're brave volunteers just trying to save these people and get them off-world. And they have combat shields. Liara, I expected you to have 1-1. What are you doing? Okay, let's get up here. The truck took a little bit of damage. Not a big problem. Let's move up here. I think a 3rd group even spawns from this location. So let's preempt it a bit. Okay, and then let's stim and move up to this. This is where you can see the firebat being pretty effective. Let the Zerglings chase after my SCVs. Okay, and then we move the rest of our units up. Looks good. Okay, let's grab 1 more barracks. I'm going to start floating a lot of money here because we're going to have more minerals than we know what to do with, basically.
Upgrade complete.
And move a few SCVs up to this location.
Not enough minerals.
Do the same thing with the turret up here. Cool. Then we can load up. And let's go and grab the 2nd bonus objective, or the 3rd bonus objective, rather. And I think we have, again, we're kind of at the more than enough stuff phase here. And again, continue to lead with the firebats. Don't go into the Zerg bases. They're very challenging to destroy. There's Ultralisks and Banelings and all sorts of junk. The burrowed Banelings, they function like perfect Baneling bombs. I think in the original version of these maps, they unburrowed pretty far away from you, but now they just blow up as you're on top of them.
Commander, another convoy will be heading out soon.
And I actually think that was something with an update in Heart of the Swarm, or maybe maybe Legacy of the Void. To be, I don't know actually. So these pallets you can see from pretty much the beginning of the map, but you can't pick them up unless you go all the way down and around here. Definitely worth doing. Let's grab 2 more SCVs and put them up there. So that stays alive. Got to keep those missile turrets alive. And we're about to be supply blocked again. But again, we're at the point where we've already got 75 supply. We have more money than we know what to do with.
Don't leave without us.
We won't. So now it's just all about understanding where the Zerg come from pretty much every round.
Additional supply depots required.
And how many waves there will be each round. So it's not super tricky, but again, if we want to save our escorting Marines, there are 3 this time. You'll make it. You're heroes.
Upgrade complete.
Eventually we'll split into 2 groups that can sort of leapfrog on top of each other, but for right now it's not super necessary. But Stimpack was a really good choice just because it's super good. Just alone, it's just good. But then on top of that, it's important because it allows your Marines to just rush forward and save your buildings and or the trucks. Okay, cool. 2 roaches back here, no problem. Let's move forward and just waste these guys. I think a couple Mutalisks come out of nowhere here at the end as well. Let's go ahead and grab half of this group and run them up here to preempt the Zerg running in there, and then the rest of you just stay right on top of the convoy. Are there Mutalisks? That's this one. Oh, yeah. I thought so. Okay, Firebats, please stand in the front. And I thought there was a final group that came from here, but I guess not. So there's another Zerg base over here. This is actually all connected. I don't know why you'd ever have to walk that way, but you could. The next round are drop pods. And this is where we're going to need to start leapfrogging, because they'll land right on top of your... They'll land directly on top of the transport, but at the same time, they'll come down the paths towards your bunkers. So we just want to ensure that they make it. And by they, I mean the escorting Marines, damn it. It's just completely arbitrary. There's no achievement for this. It's just an entirely stupid thing that I've decided to do.
Sir, we just detected Zerg organisms entering the upper atmosphere. I can't give you an exact fix, but they're heading your way.
We have another convoy ready to be escorted, Commander.
Thanks for the info, by the way, Charlie. Eyes in the sky, you know what I'm saying? Even his portrait in StarCraft 2, you can envision the StarCraft 1 Wraith portrait. You can see it. It's absolutely true. Okay, so here's where we will start splitting and just start queuing up boatloads of Marines. And like, yeah, sure, just keep making more depots. Why not? We're going to leave a lot of supplies behind on this planet, folks. So they kind of surprise you here by having a drop pod land like right down here. Bunch of jerks, if you ask me. So let's just go ahead and grab 2 extra Firebats, and this will be like our rapid response team. And then this group will go and handle everything else. So like, you guys sit and defend this bunker while you guys hit the... these guys will just sit right on top of the truck, is my plan. Okay, you guys will get added to this group. And these 2 groups, the whole idea is I'm going to use them to leapfrog. Just leapfrog their way up the map so that the drop pods don't surprise us, while at the same time our bunkers are relatively secure. So now this group can move up, defend where the next group of drop pods comes from. You medics don't need to be there. Yep, and then they come from behind because they're a bunch of jerks. The escorting Marines are doing it. We're going to stim and just run up. Run in front of the thing. And I think we have another group that comes further up. So we're going to grab this group and run them up to defend the bunker as usual. And then the rest of you are going to sit right on top of the thing. Because I think they just dropped like directly on top of it. Indeed. We got some Banelings if we could target them. Not quite, but that's okay. Just repair the turret, please. The turret is a bit of a liability. All 3 of our escorting Marines made it. The turrets are a bit of a liability just because they don't have that many hit points, and if they get destroyed, that counts against the achievement. Okay, next are the Niduses. You have a Nidus that spawns... not here. 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 And here. So, again, we're going to do some basic leapfrog tactics. Where we split our army. Send, like, you guys to sit down here, and then you guys will follow the transport.
Picking up seismic disturbances closing in on your position. I think it's some kind of tunneling Zerg.
Wonderful. It's just like him to keep things nice and interesting.
Mineral field.
We're almost done, Commander. Another convoy will be starting out soon.
We have 134 supply. It's pretty darn good, and we're 1-1. So there's really not much else to do except ensure that our escorting Marines don't die, our bunkers and missile turrets don't die, and I mean most of all the transports don't die. But I think we'll be fine. I'm not going to build any more supply depots or anything like that. So for now we just wait, and the first Nidus will pop up as well as just normal spawning units, and then same thing up here, and we want to just ensure that we leave enough units here to make sure that they don't flank us. Meanwhile, our first group leapfrogs up here to destroy this Nidus before this bunker gets hit.
Guess we'll find out.
4 escorting Marines this time. The heroes of Agria. You can make it. These fellows will be on the next one. They'll be right out, don't you worry. They'll all make it. And they can go to the next one that will get... the next planet that will get infested. Yes, good work. You did it. You took out that Overlord just like you were always meant to do. Okay, Nidus goes down. This area is relatively safe.
Mineral field.
I don't think a separate attack comes from down here. So we run up here and we just sit right on top of where it is. There is another attack here, okay. Nothing huge. So that means this group, we run all the way up here and just have them sit there way in advance. And then this group stims and takes out the spawned attack, and then the Nidus. Okay, and then we run them over here. Okay, there's the Nidus. You all stim. Just hit it, please. Wow, some of my other they went around. That's funny. And then we're ready for the next spawn. All four of our escorting Marines made it. Okay, cool. We got all the transports, no problem. No colonists lost, no escorting Marines lost, no buildings lost. So, honestly, not losing the buildings is a little harder than it... Where'd you come from? Not losing the any buildings is a little harder than it seems. Unless, I mean, you could always build like 4 to 5 bunkers at each of these locations and wall them off with supply depots, and you know, you could be super prepared in that way, especially if you have marauders.
That's the last of them. Go. Lift off now.
We've lost the colony, but my people got out alive, thanks to you, Commander.
But even if you're putting a weird arbitrary rule on yourself, like keeping those escorting Marines alive, as long as you know where the Zerg spawn, should be no problem. 0 colonists lost. Convoy trucks secured 5 out of 5. No structures lost. Got the bonus objectives. Looks good. Let's go back to the Hyperion, where Liara can give us a lecture on why our science department isn't up to snuff.
Great job, sir. Dr. Hansen's offered to stay on with us for now, and I think her skills will be invaluable.
It's hard to believe I'm even here.
Great to have you, Doc. How you planning on pitching in?
Well, your medical facilities are medieval, and your science expertise is non-existent. Perhaps I could start there.
Ouch. Well, I guess you might be able to teach Stedman a thing or two. Welcome aboard, Doc.
Guess you heard the news by now, Raynor. Looks like you're back in business.
That I am, Mr. Hill. And fighting the Zerg and Dominion all at once is going to take its toll on my standing forces. You got any guns for hire?
But you know the invasion makes it a seller's market right now. Still, your bartender there makes a hell of a Mai Tai. So, sure, I've got some mercenary contracts you might be interested in.
You're all heart, Mr. Hill.
I quite like the mercenaries. I don't think we're going to need devil dogs, though, for the next mission, so we'll hold off. But typically when these become available, I will buy them, but just not at this early section when money is pretty scarce. But well, how much are they?
For the right price.
They're pretty cheap, right? Yeah, we'll check to see if we can afford them. I think we want the medic healing rate, though, for sure. Let's watch the news.
Donnie Vermillion, UNN. We've got Kate Lockwell on remote feed from Agria, a fringe colony. Are you there, Kate? Okay, we seem to be having a sound problem with... I'm being told Emperor Mengsk is going to address us directly. Let's take you to his announcement, already in progress.
My finest military minds are being brought to bear, and it's my pleasure to announce that they'll soon be led by the hero of Taurus himself, General Horace Warfield.
Warfield? I thought he retired years ago.
With General Warfield at the helm, and our finely honed Dominion military under his command, I have every confidence that this new Zerg threat will be contained very soon.
There you have it, viewers. With Warfield in command, the Zerg swarm will be defeated in no time. Up next, Raynor ups his campaign of terror just as the Zerg reappear. Coincidence? You decide after these messages.
I think Donnie Vermillion just gets more ridiculous as time goes on. I really enjoy it.
Funny. Sometimes I still feel like a cop. Only now it's the bad guys that are in charge.
And every time you finish a quest line, you get a new little trophy up here. Jimmy, I thought you'd like these. They're the winning entry from a Zerg hunt a few years back. Maybe they'll bring you luck. From Joey Ray, owner-proprietor of Joey Ray's Bar, Marsara. P.S. I'll add the TV to your tab, even though our bar was likely destroyed when the Zerg invaded the planet again.
You meet Dr. Hansen yet?
Sure did. I asked that sweet thing if she'd like to give me a physical. No harm in asking, right? I think she's got her eye on some pansy ass, though.
Yeah? Who might that be?
Oh, I don't know. Some white knight kind of guy came charging down to save a colony, maybe. Damn, Jimmy. You never could read the ladies.
Cool. And maybe at some point we'll play Lost Viking, because everyone always complains how hard it is, but I did get the gold achievement for it, so maybe we'll show some of our skills with that. I'm not that good at it. I don't even remember how I did that. It just takes a lot of patience.
Standing around talking to my damn self.
Just keep those colonists out of my armory. That's a disaster just waiting to happen.
Okay, so with our money, we're definitely going to go ahead and grab the stabilizer med packs. 25% faster heal, 33% less energy per heal, for sure. So, sorry devil dogs, but this is just way better for the next mission for sure. We got fire bats now. I wish that this kind of stuff was available for the Zerg and the Protoss campaigns. It's just little tidbits that increase the immersion just a little bit. Firebat's suit contains a volatile mix of gases that seep into the operator compartment. This may explain why Firebat personnel are almost universally resocialized criminals or psychotic pyromaniacs. It's fantastic. Okay, Charlie, what you got for us?
It sure felt good rescuing those folks. But there's millions more out there that need help, too.
We can't be everywhere at once, sir. The important thing is that we set an example and gave them hope. Every time we help folks in need, it's another step on the road to a better future.
I know, Matt. But it's been 4 years and we're still no closer to bringing Mengsk down. Now with the Zerg back in the mix, your better future needs to hurry up and get here, or there's gonna be no one left to see it.
I've heard a lot about you, Commander. The Dominion always portrayed you as a criminal, terrorist. There's more to you than it seems.
Well, with the Dominion being what it is, someone's got to stand up for the little guy. It sure ain't gonna be Mengsk.
Doesn't seem like the Emperor cares at all. My people from Agria and displaced populations from across the sector have all fled to a refugee staging area on Meinhof. There are reports of violence and disease spreading throughout the camps, but the Emperor's done nothing.
I'll look into it, Doc.
We certainly will. All right, this has been Jay Borino. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye now.